Hi, this is Talon Jane with Tradesman Firearms, and this is a very long overdue update that has been very requested from people in the Discord, and specifically Owen, so this video goes out to you. But this is my 1 year later update from graduating SDI and what I've been up to, and if I still think everything was good and SDI was the way to go, and if I still have all the same opinions as far as the video that was, is the SDI worth it? And we'll talk kind of about like the office that I'm sitting in, as well as the vault that's right behind me, and some of the other events that have happened throughout this year. So thanks for watching and stay tuned. So to start out with, we should probably go over if I've been continuing with gunsmithing and if I've been continuing with my business, Tradesman Firearms. And the answer to that is yes. And I am just as busy as I want to be. I turn down more work than I accept. I'm currently working on an old, what is this? Hopkins and Allen side-by-side shotgun that a gentleman wanted restored. I'm working on about 5 to 8 guns a month, and I could absolutely be working on a lot more than that. Like I said, I'm turning down a lot more guns than I'm actually working on, just because for me, this is still kind of a side gig. I'm just building a reputation in the community. I'm building a reputation with my customers, and I still work a full-time government job. So with that, the plan is that maybe in the next 5 to 10 years, when I do take this full time, I'll be able to have that customer base kind of built up and have my shop rates figured out and have my, everything kind of set. A lot of return customers, when I first started out, and you'll find this too when you start out, it's gonna be a lot of friends, people that found out that you just graduated and started a business, but slowly, that's kind of shifted. I finished up most of the friends guns and the friends of friends guns, and now I'm getting calls from people that found me on Google or found me on, whatever. And as far as how I'm advertising, I'm really not. I did create the Google space and the business profile and all that other stuff, and I have a web page, and I have business cards that, I hand out occasionally. So what other kind of things have I been doing to get my name out there and get my business more well known? Probably one of the biggest events that I did this year is called Friends of the NRA. They have a banquet that they do in most big towns across America. And Montana is one of the states where they have just a ton of them. So every city has like a Friends of the NRA banquet. And it's not the NRA, it's a separate organization. They focus on raising money for things like, ranges and shooting programs for women and children and, that kind of stuff. It's a really good organization, but the dinners are really great. So I'd attended some as an attendee prior to this. However, for this one this year, and I'll show you the video now while I kind of voice over this, but they end up giving away a ton of firearms. I believe I gave away something like 39 firearms in one night. And what's great is the Friends of the NRA transfer all the firearms to my FFL. And they come shipping in the weeks kind of leading up to the banquet. And then at the banquet, because I am completely digital FFL, in other words, completely paperless, I don't have any systems for like maintaining 4473s, and I don't call for doing my background checks. I do everything online and either through an iPad or through a computer or whatever. So because of that, I'm able to do all the transfers or most of the transfers that night. And, so at every table, these are people that love guns, that have money, that, spend money. And So I put my, business card on all the tables, and everybody that, I transferred the firearms to, they kind of got to know me. So just through that alone, I picked up quite a few customers. So if you want, go to the friendsofthenra.com or whatever, Google Friends of the NRA, look up dinners in your area and see how you can get involved. I've attended 3 of these dinners, and personally I've won 2 firearms. There's usually an auction and a good dinner, and there's tons of firearms and like-minded people, and it's really, really cool event. So yeah, check that out. One other thing that happened this year that was pretty cool, I was sitting at work one day, got a call on my business phone, and answered the phone number, and it was a person who worked for Tim Sheehy, who's now the current senator incoming for Montana. And he was traveling around the state and kind of getting to know people that were, in his demographic. And because I owned a firearms business, they sought me out, and I got to go to a real personal dinner with him and get to know him and kind of express some of my concerns with 2A and how business worked and everything else. And, now he got elected, so that's pretty cool. There's a picture, and we had a great time, took my wife. And so yeah, that was pretty cool. Finally, recently, through kind of a connection that I made because of this channel, you guys remember that video where I was making the second gun stock for someone? Well, that guy ended up going on, his name's Owen, he went on to graduate and be the top graduate of the year for 2024. So that was really cool. And he had a couple opportunities that, because of that, SDI reached out to him and invited him to the kind of influencer event, shooting event down in Texas at Demolition Ranch that's hosted by Brandon Herrera and Donut Operator, and of course Matt from Demolition Ranch. And so they host this giant event, and I got to go to that a couple weeks ago. That was fantastic. I'm gonna put out a full video on that, so just keep your eye out for that, because that was kind of a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. And thanks to helping out other students and making friends in the Discord and doing really well at SDI. Just kind of everything, it all kind of culminated in that event. And so yeah, that was pretty awesome. And finally, what do I got coming up next? Well, I've got SHOT Show coming up in a couple of weeks. If you're going to SHOT Show, please drop your information down below in the comments. I'd love to hook up with anybody, get some pictures, maybe grab some drinks, dinner, whatever. I'm gonna do an entire video series about what is SHOT Show and what to expect when you go to SHOT Show, because I've never been there before, how to pack, what to bring, what not to bring, that kind of stuff. And if you've never been, it looks like just the most amazing, crazy event. So again, I'm gonna put out an entire video on just SHOT Show. So yeah, look forward to that. Actually, probably put out a series of videos on SHOT Show, both leading up to it and while I'm there and afterwards, and lessons learned and everything. So if you're watching this and you're thinking about going to SHOT Show, then pay attention for those videos, because they're coming up. So the office that we're in right now is now mostly finished. I have a big workbench. It's 8 foot by 8 foot L-shaped with a front counter for customers to work on. And I can do all of my gunsmithing. I have these panels here are from Wall Control. They're metal pegboard kind of style. I can do a full review on those. I really like them. It's definitely an upgrade from the white, particle board, pegboard that I had down in my office downstairs. I've got some cabinets up above here. There's one on either side. Those hold lots of tools. I have some drawers and tools down over here that are filled. So yeah, it's basically, it's kind of the ultimate office. It's in the back of my shop. So I have all of my machine tools out there, and then I can come back in the office if I'm tinkering or working or need the device or whatever is right here. So if I need anything, this office is really nice. Plus, if I have customers coming over, they're not going into my house, they're coming into my office. I have security cameras, I've got the vault for guns. The door has push button lock rather on the door. The door's, hardened. Then the garage lock, so everything is super secure. And when customers come in, the first thing they say when they walk into the back office is like, wow, this is not what I expected. And usually it kind of puts people at ease when they see that their firearm is going into a vault door and everything's really professional and clean. And so yeah, it's really nice. If you don't have a professional workspace and you plan on doing this kind of, whether that's full-time or part-time, it's definitely something I highly recommend. I have a couch in here, my kid basically chills out on the couch most of the time. I've got TV, so if it's something that could sit and wait, or if I'm just doing a transfer and I'm doing all the paperwork and stuff, they can chill out, they can sit at the bar, they can sit at the couches, whatever. So yeah, it works out great. Really happy with the desk, really happy with the office. I don't have any regrets yet. Obviously I could make some improvements. I need some shelves kind of all along the top. I have a stack of gunsmithing books that need to find a home. So the vault that I have I put in with my son. It works great. It's 4 foot by 12 foot by 10 foot tall. And I'll get a video tour of that here shortly where you can kind of see. We'll probably do a review of the vault door because I've had a lot of questions about it. I got mine from Lowe's with military discount, so it wasn't too bad. But yeah, we'll check out the vault. All right, so this is the vault tour. I generally keep like ammo boxes and pistols. This is stuff for shows, like if you're doing gun shows or events or whatever. I keep it all in here, and basically I have enough room for, I don't know, a lot of guns. So basically I started out with tall guns, then kind of medium guns. Then I've got some space here. I have a bunch more of these to put up, and then short guns down here. Obviously I need some for really shorties like this PC charger. Then I made this, I don't know what you call it, shelf for the butts of the guns. It's steel, welded it up. It's got a bracket to support the weight that's bolted into the wall and onto the side so it can support it. And basically I have enough room. They can go into each one of these, they can go between. So there's quite a bit of storage space in here. And I use this this is also where I do my test firing. This obviously is not a real pistol, but this is, if you didn't see this video, this is where I do my test firing at, inside the vault. You can't hardly even hear it in the office, let alone. I added a second shelf up above. That second shelf holds like boxes and cases. Nobody ever warns you how many boxes or cases that you're gonna get. There is power in here in case I need to add a dehumidifier, but I'm in Montana, so that's not really the case. The walls are carpeted, so they work for patches, so if you got a patch collection, it works for that. I got these carpeted walls from an estate sale for $100. It was enough to do the entire vault. And normally I wouldn't have done camo, but it kind of works, especially since I'm in Montana. And it really kind of gives it more of a vault feel. It has its own light in here, and that is connected to the light that's in the office. So if I turn the light off in the office, it'll turn it off in here in case I forgot. Total space here, again, it's 12 feet from here to there, and 10 feet from the floor to the ceiling, and 4 feet wide. So it gives me plenty of room, plenty of storage. Yeah, so if you have any questions about how I did this or, you know, anything else, I'll tell you that if if somebody was super determined and had a torch and a chainsaw and a bunch of other stuff, they could get into this vault, but by then my security cameras and everything would hit and they would probably regret that. So with that being said, everything in here is super secured. These are the 2 shotguns I mentioned earlier that had the failure to feed, failure to loads. Let's see, what's some other good ones in here. Some of these are for sale. This is the M1 that it's having some issues I gotta go over. Most of these are either customer guns or they're for sale, or I'm actually storing some guns, which is a pretty good deal. If you have something like this, you can offer if you have an FFL. I have some people up here in Montana, there's a snowbirds is a thing, so they go down to like Arizona and then they come back up here. They wanted me to store some, so yeah, but this is the vault for Tradesman Firearms, and I have lots more room where I can add stuff up here, you know, more display or more gun racks or whatever. But yeah, so hopefully that helps you if you're trying to figure out how you're going to store firearms at your business. Do I still feel the same way as I did last September when I recorded the SDI Is It Worth It? That video was a little bit premature just because, you know, I hadn't really been doing this for a year, but I can tell you the opportunities that have come to me since graduating, starting this business, and everything else have been, you know, something that never would have happened had I not attended SDI. So I stick with all the statements that I said in that video. Hands down, 100%, I still believe SDI is worth it. There's a lot of people that disagree. I'm not gonna get into the reasons why. I feel like some people get more out of SDI and some people don't. If you don't understand what I'm saying, go watch that video. I've been doing a lot of gunsmithing work, on a lot of the work that I do directly reflects what I learned at SDI. For example, that shotgun I was talking about, redoing. Here's the stock this shotgun sat in a boiler room for like 25 years. It was this older gentleman's grandpa, and I had to redo all the checkering there, which if you took the checkering course, you'll know that's a pain in the butt. But redid the checkering, redid the wood. This is very similar to when I did the wood stock here for the checkering class. So, you know, obviously that's a little more elaborate, but this stock was great practice for doing a stock like this one. In addition, I had to do the foregrip, clean it up, redo the checkering and the foregrip. This particular firearm is going to be a wall mount display. He's not going to fire it. However, you know, it's important to me that it's still fireable. Shootable, it's functional. So I'm in the process of kind of going through, de-rusting it all. It was very heavily pitted, and kind of re-bluing it. And most of this will probably be chemical blue, which, you know, if you went through those classes, again, we went over a lot of chemical blue. This firearm has lots of examples of stuff that I had to do on it that was very similar to what I learned in SDI. We had a shotgun in here last week. Guy brought it in, failure to load. So it would not pick up the shotgun shell and put it in, it would jam halfway. And, you know, it ended up, that one just needed a thorough cleaning. So there's a lot of stuff that breaking down, looking up schematics, going through, figuring things out. If you did SDI, you're going to be very familiar and comfortable with that stuff. So yeah, I think this video's run long enough. I don't like putting out super long videos. Pay attention though, in the future, I'm going to try and ramp back up the channel. I'm going to get a lot of videos out, especially with SHOT Show coming, with that influencer event that I just went to. And I plan on applying for my SOT here shortly. So we'll go through that whole process together. Anything else you guys can think of or you'd like to see a video on, starting your own gun business, whatever, anything you guys can think of that you'd like to see, or anything, any questions you have about SHOT Show, especially before January 19th, because that's when I leave for SHOT Show, please leave them in the comments. And I'm glad to be back. Sorry I was so silent or suppressed for so long. Just very busy, and look forward to getting more videos out to you guys. We'll see you guys next time.